Plus Fireness. Making another video about supposedly villagers in Peru being attacked by gray aliens, 7-foot tall creatures. And I was reading through something and talks about where they were making them out to be as almost like green goblins, but I don't think that's what the villagers are saying. That's just the person who wrote it out to be, was like to look like green goblins. I know there's an old video by a man named Phil Schneider, who used to work for the United States government. He was doing a project where he's digging these new underground bases, and they stumbled upon a craft with these gray aliens. And the thing that spoke to me the most of what he said was there was a war going on, a real war going on underneath our feet, and that our government had been lying to us. That was back in the 80s or something, 70s, 80s. And he had been supposedly they found his body curl up and he was dead or whatever, but just don't get me wrong, I believe our government was behind his murder too. You can laugh about that, it doesn't matter. But going back to the whole Peru thing, I really do believe that honestly it's a real war. It's an intergalactic war. It's just a war of what, if you look up Timothy Alberino's videos, he talks about fractions of beings and these different races of things, from your insectolents to your grays. And I do believe a lizard race is at hand as well, and it's real. And all these different races, he calls them fractions, but I do believe what the Bible talks about when it talks about principalities, these different races of different beings, but principalities, these different kingdoms of darkness that run our planet, run this world, that you can't see with your physical eyes, but the scripture talks about put it on your spiritual eyes. First, if you God will reveal all truths to you. He would put a veil, the enemy puts a veil over anybody's eyes that can't see, so they'll never come to the comprehension of the truth. What is truth? The truth, the whole truth. So when God takes the veil off, you're going to be able to see these things for what it truly is. And all this stuff goes back to, obviously, the book of Enoch, right after the Garden of Adam and Eve and all that stuff. And some people will see this stuff now and say, oh, it's CGI, it's AI. I don't believe all of it is. Maybe some of it, but I don't believe all of it is. Lay this down for 1 second. I believe there's an entire war going on underneath our feet, but it's starting to manifest up into the physical. And once life goes on and it keeps going on, you're going to start to see more and more and more and more of these things occur, happening right before your eyes. Most people are not going to believe it. They're going to say, oh, it's AI. It's going to be so easy to say it's AI, CGI, it's all fake. But it's not going to be fake. It's a real war going on. Whether if you want to call it intergalactic war, it's a spiritual war. You ever heard of the term spiritual warfare? It's a spiritual war going on and taking place right before our eyes. And most, they don't want to believe it, because the thing is, though, most people don't want to believe in the Bible because it's a book of fairy tales written by man. Who needs that stuff? Oh, I even heard someone was mocking me and said it was for the Stone Ages. It's not for this time. It's extinct. The Bible was made up. It's not real. But yet, if you read in some part of the Bible, Genesis 6 and all these other things, all this stuff is occurring and taking place. Again, it's almost like it's manifesting and it's coming back into this century. Why do they call us Generation Z? Because it almost seems like what comes after the letter Z, there is no other letter, so it makes you think, are we in? Is there no more generations after us? And it just makes you think, like, know, even if you don't believe in the Bible, you don't believe in God, or maybe you do believe in a higher power, but maybe it's not Jesus or whatever else, if it's Buddha, Allah, whatever you believe, it just makes you think like, wow, is there something that's going to happen sooner than we think? Something after this? Or what is coming after this life is over with? Or what is about to come? You know, it just gets you in that mindset just to think like, wow, I wonder if something really is coming. And are we really in this war like this man on this video is talking about? Just makes you think. God bless, Godspeed, Fire and Ice, out.